Hey everybody, boys and girls, listen, sorry for the not really doing much in the way of uploads over the last week or so. Things have been happening well, particularly in my life and then the peripheries with work, vet bills and whatnot, and to be fair in general, since, well, the ninth edition is now officially dropped, it's out there in the wild, and the week sort of leading up to it was not really, as far as I was concerned, not really much up on the news front. And I know Jamie and Chris have got stuff going on, so we haven't really been able to get together to do like a group video like we normally like to do at the weekend. So I can only apologise for that, guys. I mean, we really do. We really do appreciate the people that have actually subscribed so far. I mean, it may not be a huge number. It's not a huge number, but it means something to us. So thank you guys for that. This video today, guys, basically we're just going to be covering the previews this weekend. Obviously, what's the day? Sunday. So yesterday, Saturday the 25th, GW did like the launch day sort of celebration with a load of new previews for new models. Stuff we knew was coming, stuff we didn't know was coming. A lot of other things, actually. Some I'm a big fan of. Some I'm not a big fan of. So we're just going to look at them. But before I rub GW's tummy and tell them what good boys and girls they've been, I've got to first hit them over the head with the big stick and tell them what a big bunch of morons they've been. The 40k app, it's been released, and I was rooting for this thing. I mean, when the price was announced and obviously what was going to be with it launch, I was wanting this thing to be good. I wanted this app to be really intuitive, really interactive, just like a really good app to have. I wanted it because I was thinking to myself, gee, if GW played the cards right, you know, they could make this thing like a subscription service, like the Netflix for 40k. You could have like your White Dwarf going through there. You could have, obviously, like I mentioned before, like Black Library books, things like that. Previews to subscribers. Just, they could have done so many things with it. It could have been such a good vehicle for the hobby. The subscription service, people really did poo-poo that idea when it first came out. Obviously, the payment, it's like a £5 a month, I think, $4.99. And I was like, you know what? If the service is good and the app is good, really easy to use, and like handy and whatnot, I don't mind paying that. I don't mind paying £5 a month. That's what GW has. They've got such a loyal fan base and such an amazing IP. All they have to do is put the time and the effort into things like this, and it will work. It will shift. I mean, a lot of fucking GW stuff sells itself anyway. What they gotta do is like plaster a Space Marine logo on something and they'll sell anything. That may be an over-exaggeration, but you know what I mean. They've got a really good receptive community, so all they've got to do is put the time and the effort in. Now, did they do that for this 40k app? Did they? Bollocks. It's dog shit. And that's my professional opinion. The scientific opinion, I think, is it is complete dog shit. Basically, the free version, it gets you a link to a Google PDF with the core rules on it. Takes time to load on my phone. I don't know if that's repeated elsewhere. Just judging from the reviews people leave online, I think I'm not the only person in having this it's a dog shit opinion. It's just awful. And what makes it worse is when they released it, they were saying stuff like, oh, we've got more stuff to come in the future. Like, no. You cannot release a shitty, half-assed product, charge money for it, and say, oh, it's okay, guys. We're going to make it better later. You release it good at the start. That's how it's meant to work. We have enough of that fucking bullshit in the video games industry. And I don't want that in my 40k life. I don't want it. Release a good product first that you can charge money for, and then make the good product better. Do not release a half-assed product, which I think what this app is, and have the bollocks to charge money for it, and then say, don't worry guys, sometime later it'll get better. I swear. No, you do not. Just no. It's absolute bollocks, guys. Do not subscribe to the Warhammer 40,000 app. It is not worth it at the moment. Listen, if you really want, to have a digital version of your stuff, just get the digital version of the codex and digital version of the rulebook and the digital version of your codex on a tablet. It's probably going to be better. From what I can see, it's just not good. It's not a good app. It's a bad app. Bad app. Bad app. And it just upsets me because when you've got a golden opportunity like that to do something good, and I think they could have done something good with it, and they've just fucked it. First impressions count, guys, and the first impression of the 40k app is it's dog shit. So that's the stick. I don't like. I mean, Chris has warned me off before about obviously some of GW's mistakes in the past and me fucking proper railing him for it, but it's like I want them to be good. I want them to be the best. I want this hobby to be amazing. I want everything around it to be amazing because I love it. I'm passionate about it, which is why it stings when I see him fuck up. And that's neither here nor there. Anyway, moving on. We've had the bad stuff. That's the stick out the way. Now we get on to the tummy rubs, like I promised. Right. So obviously on the preview, we've had a couple of these now. We know what the sketch is. Showed off the new shiny things on the horizon that we could look forward to. And the first thing they did was obviously the codexes, Necrons and Space Marines. Guys, we knew this was going to happen, and I don't understand how people can get upset. I mean, I've seen people saying, "Oh no, Space Marines, they always get theirs first." Guys, at this point, it's how are you not surprised by this? We all know how 40k works right now. Space Marines first, always Space Marines first. Never anything, always Space Marines, and that's it. That's the way the world works in 40k. Space Marines first, everyone else after that, and you can't complain at this point. The pattern is so set in stone. It's not a surprise. So Space Marines will be getting theirs, and then Necrons I think will be bringing up the second place swap. But it says they're both available in October, so you've got quite a bit of time. So they might be dropping at the same time. I'd imagine not. I imagine it'll be Space Marines first because Space Marines go first. Them's the rules. That might be baked into the game at a later point. Because Space Marines there, you get the first turn. But yeah, and according to this, the Space Marine one will be folding in like a load of other like chapters as well. So you've got your things like your Death Watch, it's going to be folded in there. All the other first founding stuff, that's going to be in this book as well. So that's pretty nice. And it's always irritating when you've got all these smaller offshoots of these starties. I mean, Grey Knights included. I mean, should they all just be in one big book? Really? And then you can like download a supplement for it, a free supplement for your particular chapter. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I know Grey Knights are technically pretty different than Space Marines. I mean, someone will say, oh no, they're very different. They're very different. They're better than Space Marines, regular Space Marines, which they are in the lore and the story. But I think it would be a better taste in everyone's mouth. I think it would be better for a lot of players if all that was just folded into one book. But yeah, so it says here that players using chapters covered in the latest Space Marine Codex can carry on using their expansions with the new book. White Scars, Imperial Fists, Iron Hands, Ultramarines, Salamanders, and Raven Guard, and Black Templars using their Codex expansion in the Psychic Awakening series. So obviously, they said that before, Psychic Awakening is compatible with this, so that's fine. For fans of Dark Angels, Space Wolves, Blood Angels, and Death Watch, you're going to be getting your special supplement as well. So that's something for you guys to look forward to. You've got every flavour of Space Bro there mentioned, except, again, for Grey Knights. I think Chris is holding out for them to have a little bit of a range refresh. With the arrival of the Blade Guard veterans, Chris is like, well, that's what Grey Knights should be. Big knight dudes. That's what they should look like. And I can't argue with him. I mean, he's got a point there. They should look a bit. They've got an opportunity. That's probably him now. They've got an opportunity now to obviously reinvent the Grey Knights and make them more in line, sort of, with the Primaris range, but still leave them with their classic sort of look. But we'll have to wait and see for that one. Necrons, obviously, guys, you were last in Psychic Awakening. You're going to be first in the new Codex releases. So winner, chicken dinner. But a lot of people are going to be looking forward to that Codex. Hopefully this time around GW won't do misprints in it and get some of the actual some of the units mixed up in the wrong categories. We're going to be keeping an eye on this, guys, because there have been times in the past where GW have arsed up codexes, putting different units in the wrong, obviously, brackets from troops, fast attack, and yada yada yada. And there was the Space Wolf thing a while back that I can't remember what the specifics was, but they asked that up and then they gave like a free downloadable PDF to try and fix it, which is not great. But yeah, hopefully someone will have proofread these first. Would be nice. And yeah, in October you'll be able to get your filthy hands all over these lovely books. Now, we've got a new Primaris tank. Oh yes, you see, it's called the Gladiator, and there's 3 variants of it. We're going to obviously see pictures of it here. You got the Valiant, the Reaper, and the Lancer. Now, I've got to say, I'm not a big fan of these Primaris tanks. What's wrong with having big-ass tank treads? I mean, I know you're super futuristic, 41st millennium technology, blah, 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 but I like tank treads. I like big, meaty tank treads on big, meaty tanks. It makes them look big and meaty. So what's wrong with them? I don't like these flying tanks the Primaris has got. I don't like them. I do not like them. It just doesn't look right. I can't put my finger on it. Well, first, one thing I can put my finger on, that fucking bull bar on the front there, that little bumper bar, that can fuck right off. That's bad. I don't like that at all. And the little guy poking his head up at the top. I mean, it looks ridiculous from this shot, but it's probably just not lending itself well to the actual the model, the shot we've got here. But yeah, I mean, these tanks never did it for me, never lit the world on fire for me, and it is just mainly because I miss tank treads, and I think the way they've got the hover thing set up at the bottom with these sort of like big sort of like panels, it doesn't look interesting to me at all. I mean, everything sort of like just above those sort of like silvery panels at the bottom upwards is fine, but it's just that and below I'm like, no, I'm pass on that. So obviously you've got the Gladiator variant there, which is like a short range tank hunter, so you've got your Laz and your Melter and all that jizz all over that. And then the Reaper. Now this one wins it back a little bit for me because I love me some miniguns, and that thing's got 2 big ass miniguns, so thumbs up from me on that one. It's just great, more miniguns. I want someone to do something with those miniguns. I don't know what, but I want someone to do a conversion. I just think they look good. Those miniguns look good on this tank. That kind of minigun looks good on the I can't remember the new sort of like tactical dreadnought they've got. I think they've got them on there. It looks good on that. It looks good on the new Chaos Space Marine because they've got the Havocs, haven't they? The new Havocs, the one with the minigun on it. It looks good on that. Just that style of minigun on anything instantly gets my vote. So this tank, this particular version of the tank, it gets a soft pass from me just because that minigun is carrying it. It's just simple. I'm a sucker. When I like something, I like it, and I like miniguns. So this tank can, this one can pass. The other 2 can't, but this one can. That's obviously for hordes. Obviously, again, minigun and storm bolts to the side. I think the storm bolters, or some kind of bolter variant. And obviously, you got your long range tank killer there, Lancer. So you've got obviously bolters. I think they're bolters for dealing with people close, and you've got that big ass cannon on top. I don't know what that's called. It's a sniper. Alternatively, you could build a Gladiator Lancer, an anti-tank sniper that's ideal for chewing through your opponent's most durable war machines and monsters. So sit to the back, pew pew with the big guns. So yeah, apart from the one with the minigun, guys, I'm not really a big fan of this type of vehicle they're trying to push on the Primaris side. Just bring back big tank treads. Just bring back big tank treads. I'll be happy. Put tank treads on this, and I'll give it a pass. It's fine. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. Now, what we actually want to see, what I actually want to see anyway, the new monolith. Oh God, it's so good. Oh, it's so good, guys. Oh, they've just really outdone themselves with this. It's just like, it's night and day, isn't it? I'm speaking to 2 different audiences here, but that monolith is like, ugh. And then that tank is like, nah. Oh God, it's so good, guys. So good. I did not realize how much I hated that stupid green plastic shit on the old monolith, that big crystal and that big like portally thing, until it's gone. And it's just like they've cranked the detail up to 11, and it's absolutely fantastic. Mwah! It's beautiful, beautiful design. It's so good. It's not a solid mass. Like the old school model, it's just a big brick. It's like a big smooth brick. And that was fine for when it was released. But this one's just got so much more personality because it's like, it's intricate layers, just like a core layer, then the blackstone sort of, the nougaty blackstone innards, and then the hard the like living metal outside. I know I'm not sure how I feel about the like little nicks and chips on the outside, because I was under the impression that these things are meant to be living metal, like they will just repair themselves, so they won't really suffer from weathering, if that's fine. I mean, you can make any narrative reason for what you want, for why it's there. You know, it's subroutines could be damaged or whatnot, or whatever. But, you know, I think I prefer like the smoother outer than having like that rough one. But hey, the rough one's fine. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying that would be my preference. But this thing is absolutely fucking gorgeous. It always bothered me because the old, like, you don't realise how bad it was till it's gone and you put something better in its place. But the old sort of like green portal on the old monolith, it's like a sort of like liquidy sort of, you can like, if you've ever watched Stargate, you know, obviously when Stargate opens, it's like a liquid over the front of it, and you go through it, it's like a plop. But obviously now, the teleporter on this thing, it looks like it's more of like a transporter rather than like a Stargate. So like it materializes the Necrons rather than having like a wormhole thing, which I think I prefer. This fucking thing's going to be a nightmare to paint on the inside if that thing is detailed. It is. And the orb on top, again, it just looks like that. I don't know, is that like a ball of light, or like a sort of suspended, sort of free-flowing, liquidy sort of living metal thing that the... And again, we didn't see this on the previous videos. It's like how good this thing is. If you can see on the back there, you've got a canoptic, obviously, a wraith or some sort of canoptic construct, and that's obviously maintaining this power source, sort of manipulating on the back, which is a really good feel for it. It just gets my imagination going. You can imagine this thing sort of manipulating this for what? Energy core, for want of a better word. I mean, is that going to be how this thing fires its particle whips now? This thing sort of manipulates it in such a way that it releases like a beam of energy? I don't know, but the monolith is just, oh, it's so good. I don't collect Necrons, and I want to collect Necrons because I want one of these. I want several of these. Oh, and we've got the new gun options. You can see there on the side. We don't know what these ones are. These sort of like pointy, diamondy shaped ones. We know we've got the Gauss Flux Arcs or Gauss Flux Arrays. I think that's what they're called on the old school ones. But these ones, if the Gauss are more anti-infantry, I can imagine these are going to be like some sort of particle. Insert scientific word here. Some kind of like particle beam thing that rips through armor. Maybe, we don't know. This, I'm only assuming that would be the case. If the Gauss be the anti-infantry, this one be the anti-tank, which you can obviously kit up your monolith as you would want it. And obviously we've got the little jet engines there at the bottom, the little sort of like I'm not sure how I feel about them, because they're also on the new sort of model for the destroyer. I think it's one of those things that'll probably grow on me. Like a lot of the Necron stuff that's been released now, when it was released, it was like, but then after time, I'm like, But yeah, there's just masterclass in modelling this. It's absolutely fantastic. Really ancient, creepy as fuck. Thumbs up from me. Oh, so good. Just so good, guys. Yeah, and I thought that was it. I actually saw this page last night when we were over Chris and Jamie were having a game, and I was flicking through this, and I really didn't realise that they'd also shown off snippets, like small snippets of other models that are coming out. One of them I think I could put good money on it. Put it this way, I'd go down to the bookies and bet money on bet money on what I think it is, because I think it's pretty much set on. But they've shown off in order of appearance, they've shown off what looks like a new orc. Looks probably it's a snake bite or snake skin. I don't know what they're called. It's like there's like a clan of orcs that are like really feral and like they're not as, I want to say not as technologically advanced, but that doesn't sound right when you're talking about orcs. But you know what I mean. They're kind of feral. I think they're called snakebite, and we think that model's obviously referencing one of them, like a character. One of them, and this one right here, this model right here, that's Lilith, the Dark Eldar Gladiator, head honcho gladiator lady. That ass belongs to Lilith. That's got ass for days. We saw like a rumour mill picture of like what looked like hair with sort of like barbs in it, and that's part of her sort of shtick. Like every bit of her is like a weapon, including her hair and whatnot. So I'm willing to bet money that that's Lilith. That those cheeks belong to Lilith, most definitely. We've also got Skitarii guy. Skitarii guy, probably a named Skitarii character, I don't know. I thought Skitarii was basically like brains in robot suits that were like pretty much near lobotomized. Did they have any like major free will of their own? I'm not sure, but yeah. And we've also got another Sister Belle. A Palatine? Yeah, a Palatine. And it says there, blah 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 blah, works under a can nest to coordinate Sister Belle. And yeah, that's fine. She looks good. I like the I do like the sort of like studded sort of like leather look that a lot of the Sisters of Belle's new models have got on them. Like very medieval sort of, yeah, very medieval armor sort of thing. I know that's, you could point out a lot of the Imperial stuff and go, yeah, that's that. But you know what I mean? The studded leather really looks the part for the Sisters, and it pulls off quite well. So yeah, that's I think that's it. Yeah, that's basically all the previews, guys, for Saturday, and talking about the fucking app. But yeah, bear with us, guys, because there's stuff going on in the background. Well, I know with me personally, and I know Chris, I think he's on about looking at property. So content might be a bit thin on the ground, but obviously if I see something I want to talk about, I will talk about it. And hopefully we'll be able to get together and have a group video again soon, because they're quite funny, like little debate videos. I'm actually waiting for my limited edition 9th edition codex core rulebook, sorry, to arrive, because I was stupid enough to buy one of them, and I want to see what it's like. So I think I want to try and converse Chris so we can like get that on camera, opening up, and get the first impressions and first reactions of that. So that'd be something fun to look forward to. Probably, you know, it's just for me really, because I want to flip through and go, ooh, fancy, shiny. But yeah. Anyway, that's it for today, guys. And hopefully I will catch you guys soon. See you later.